ugly.
You got really good pace, man. Keep it up. Keep pushing.
Ugly, ugly. Everybody come through this. Let's go. Finish strong. One more pull. That's it. We're done. Woo.
Just finished a Spartan Super, and I want to go through 5 mistakes that people make when prepping for a Spartan race. What's up guys, Josiah Novak here with thetruetransformation.com. We just wrapped up 6.2 miles at the Spartan Super here in Arlington, Virginia. And I want to talk to you today about 5 crucial mistakes that I've made in the past and a lot of people make while prepping for a Spartan race. So without further ado, if you're interested in jumping into a Spartan race, let's just get right down to it. So a Spartan race involves a lot of running. In fact, I would say it's about 80% running, probably 20% grip strength with obstacle efficiency. So when training for a Spartan race, the tendency is to do a lot of running, which is a great idea, but a lot of people jump right into doing extended runs without any kind of baseline when it comes to running. A lot of guys just jump into running 5, 6, 7, 8 miles a day without any kind of experience doing an extended running plan. The one thing you want to do whenever you're starting to build running into your training program is you want to ease into it. One of the biggest things I did that was a huge mistake early on is I just out of the gate started running 4 or 5 miles simply by grit, right? Just gritting my teeth, getting out there and forcing myself to do that. You don't want to do that. You want to build in slowly. Start with just 1 mile or half a mile. Start to increase your mileage maybe 5 to 10% week over week. When you jump straight into doing a ton of running, you're setting yourself up for a couple of different things. One, potential injury, right? You're not giving your body a chance to actually build its ability to handle running. Injury will set you back tremendously when getting ready for a Spartan race. So biggest thing I will tell you is ease into running slowly. That's mistake number 1. Let's go to number 2. Woo! Mistake number 2 that I see guys make when prepping for a Spartan race is doing all their runs way too fast. This is gonna sound crazy. I've talked about it before, and there's actually a video that somewhere on the screen here I'll point to, where we talk about learning how to run better, but one of the biggest things is getting comfortable running slow. You're gonna have to run slow to build up your body's engine, its ability to handle more running, and you're not gonna build that up by running fast right out of the gate. You don't need to go set a personal record every time you run. Sometimes I know you just want to get it over with, you want to blaze through your run for that day, but running fast actually is detrimental when it comes to building your endurance. You want to think about it like this: running slow allows your body to build its system internally that allows itself to handle transporting oxygen to your muscles while you're running. If you're just blazing fast every single time, your body's just trying to keep up. It doesn't have the ability to actually build like its ecosystem, if you will, like its supply chain inside the body, its efficiency when it comes to transporting oxygen where it needs to go. So what does this mean? I would go for what's called aerobic runs most of the time. This is where while you're running, you should be able to hold a conversation. You want to keep your heart rate below your anaerobic threshold. There's different formulas for this. You can look it up online, but I'll put a link in the description below on how to find this for yourself. But ultimately, it comes down to running nice and easy, working on form, and doing that like 80 to 90% of the time. Occasionally, you'll throw in a fast run, a pace run, or you're working on specific race pace, but most of the time you want to run slow. Don't make the mistake of running fast.
There you go.
Hey guys, I have a bonus tip at the end of the video if you stick out till the end. I also have a free gift for you at the end, so make sure you watch all the tips, especially the last couple, because those will be game changers if you're trying to do a Spartan race.
You got really good pace, man. Keep it up. Keep pushing.
Be smart.
Another big mistake that I see people make when they're prepping for a Spartan race is they won't train their grip or their strength under duress. Now, what does this even mean? So when you're out there running a Spartan race, especially if it's your first time, it's an eye-opening experience where you might be really good at doing pull-ups, for example, but are you really good at doing pull-ups after you've been running? That's a whole different ballgame. you need to get good at grip strength and doing things like monkey bars and pulling ropes and climbing a rope after you've been running, when you're under duress, when you're a little bit out of breath, when you're a little bit fatigued. So if you're building a training plan, which I can help you do, there's a gift at the end that will help you do that. One of the things I highly suggest is training under duress, training your grip strength after you've been running. So mixing in runs with pull-ups and grip work. This will help you get really, really comfortable in a race type of setting, right? So when you get out there and you're running your first Spartan race, it's not gonna be a surprise when you get to the first obstacle. You're a little bit out of breath and you gotta pull yourself up over something, or you have to pull up yourself up a rope. You'll be used to that style of training. It'll serve you really well, and you'll be able to handle all the obstacles in the race. Ugly, ugly. So mistake number 4 when getting ready for a Spartan race is not including hill training and heavy carry training in your routine. We got the running down, you're running more, you're slowly building your run capacity, you're not running too fast, you're doing mostly slow, easy runs, you're building your endurance, you're building your body's engine. But now we want to start building in specific type of running. So if you don't have a lot of hills where you live, I would suggest doing incline running on the treadmill. Once again, we don't need to go crazy. This might be power hiking. At the end of the day, you may not be able to run and keep your heart rate down, but building in some hill work will do wonders to get your legs prepared for the Spartan. Most Spartan races have some significant hills and incline, at least some trails that will put you in a tough spot if you're not used to it. Plus, Spartan races always have heavy carries. So you're either carrying a sandbag or a bucket carry, usually both in most cases, and you want to be comfortable running or at least jogging with a heavy carry. So building that into your routine at least once or twice a week, super smart idea when prepping for a Spartan race. Woo! Mistake number 5, and this is really leading up to your Spartan race and even the day before in the morning of your Spartan race, and that is not fueling and hydrating properly. I've made this mistake a few times. It took me a while to learn my lesson, but normally when I'm just training for my normal goals, which is keeping my physique where it needs to be, health, wellness, feeling good, I usually train fasted. I don't eat a lot in the morning, and usually I don't eat anything in the morning before I work out. I save my calories for later in the day. And this is a great strategy if you're trying to lose fat or just maintain, a day-to-day sustainable lifestyle. But when it comes to performance, if you want to actually perform well, you're going to need to fuel and hydrate properly. So let's start with hydration. You want to make sure that leading up to the race, you're staying properly hydrated. What does this look like? Easy way to tell if you're properly hydrated is your pee. I know it's gross, but your pee should be just a slight tint of yellow. If we start getting into darker yellow colors, then you know you're not properly hydrated. One thing you can do to make sure that you are properly hydrated is including electrolytes with your water. You don't want to go crazy with salt, potassium, and magnesium, but you do want to make sure that you are taking some electrolytes, especially the morning of your race. If you're avoiding salt and you're avoiding potassium and you're avoiding magnesium, get ready for cramps. Cramps will happen. They've happened to me countless times. It wasn't until I got myself dialed in with drinking enough water and including electrolytes the day before the race and the morning of that I was able to avoid cramps. Now let's talk about fueling yourself properly. You don't want to be trying to lose fat and get ready for a Spartan race. That is a recipe for disaster. Your performance is going to go downhill, especially if you're getting close to the race. Let's say you've been monitoring your calories, you're losing some fat, getting ready for the race. Well, the last few days before the race, forget all that. You don't want to be in a deficit going into a race. You want to eat for performance. You want to eat like an athlete. You want to make sure you're getting plenty of carbohydrates. Keep your protein up. Get some healthy fats. You don't need to go crazy with fats because that can slow down digestion and at times cause issues with digestion. But you want to make sure you're getting plenty of carbs. One major change I made that helped tremendously was the morning of a race, I get a good amount of carbs before the race. Usually for me, it's a bagel with a banana, with a little bit of peanut butter, with a little bit of honey on top of all that. And then I'll do a protein shake to wash it down. I'm getting in probably 600 to 800 calories, probably 150 to 200 grams of carbs before my race, sometimes even more. This is going to make sure that you're topped off, right? So your fuel source, which is glycogen, aka sugar, and some fat, is fully ready to go. 106. 13. Almost top 10. Almost.
No.
Yeah, that's not terrible. Hey, I was just trying to beat 115. It's hard to beat top 10 in your age group. 35, 39. Let me give you guys a bonus tip for getting to the end of the video. Let's talk about during the race. So as you're running in the race, you're gonna have a lot of obstacles that require grip strength. One of the biggest killers of grip strength is wet hands. So if you're approaching an obstacle, and let's say you've gone through like some mud, or you went through the dunk wall where you have to go through some water and your hands are wet, get some leaves or grass or whatever you can find, some shrubs if you will, and rub your hands on those leaves, okay? Get rid of some of that moisture on your hands. So make sure you take your time going into the obstacles, knowing like, hey, double check, is my hands and my grip strength ready to go? It's worth the 5 to 10 seconds it takes to prepare your hands for the obstacle. All right, guys, as a gift for you and a help for you, hopefully, I have my Spartan Shred Guide. I put the link in the description below. It's just a quick start guide if you're trying to get in better shape for performance races like a Spartan. It's gonna help you lose some fat, build some muscle, and also give you some workouts that you can throw into your routine that will help you start preparing for a Spartan race. So go download it, it's completely free. It'll give you a really good starting place and a roadmap to get you prepped for your first Spartan. My name is Josiah Novak with thetruetransformation.com. Appreciate you watching. If you found it helpful, let me know in the comments. I'll see you on the next one. Life moves fast, make it count.